'em up, shake 'em up, shake 'em up, shake 'em. Onyx. Okay. Love. Good day to you. Pray all is well. Prey. Honoramus matras nostros. Fiduciary law is it so. Love to you, Rue. Pardon if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly, you heard. Love to you, though, you hear me? Much respect and honor to you. Love to you, Oliver. You heard? Yeah, so, again, my conversation with you is fiduciary law. I'm giving it to you from the American Indian perspective. And just the reality of all of us being this authority. And, no matter what the transaction is, the relationship is, however you want to term it, the event, the affair, the conversation, you are that power, you are that source. And indeed, you're being engaged in moral turpitude. There's no way around that. And you have to start accepting that it's not acceptable. Because you've been conditioned in degrees. Okay, Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, I want to say it correct, you feel me? Excuse me. We've all been pressed with this, degradation of morality. You understand what I'm saying to you? And I say that to you with honesty, right? Because here I present to you the federal trust responsibility, right? You understand? Again, I'm giving you the American Indian perspective, right? So to know that, I've been labeled these multitudes of terms and verbiages and etc., and yet there's a trust responsibility that the United States has to the Indian. There's a fiduciary responsibility that the United States has to the Indian. So to keep all of us distracted out of that, while they're playing and punning, $5 Indian here, pale-faced logic conversation over there, this type of thing. And the reality of you being the owner, you being the creditor of whatever you're dealing with. Again, the United States has charged itself with the highest moral obligations of the highest responsibility and trust. My press to you is to start using the fiduciary language. Again, trust means fiduciary. You comprehend that. Right, I throw at you ethics unwrapped. Right, fiduciary duty. Ethics unwrapped. Fiduciary duty. Yeah, it is. It is. Fiduciary law is it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? This is my ticket in the hat to everybody. You heard. I'm going through it myself. You get what I'm saying? And then, right. The federal Indian fiduciary responsibility is also a legally enforceable fiduciary obligation on the part of the United States, right? Which entails legal duties and moral obligations. You know what I mean? Period. So that's why I'm so tough with you about the word fiduciary, because it activates your authority in the matrix. I'm using Neo as the perspective, or excuse me, as the analogy, right? Because again, Neo becomes empowered. The power was already within him. He had to go through certain training to shed those onion peels and so forth. I mean, listen, I got some things in the works, you hear me? Yeah, I'll be in Alabama in a little bit. What I'm doing is this workshop, my guy. This workshop is my vehicle. I'm just, on my square with you. This workshop's my vehicle. So, I welcome any type of collaboration, conversation within the workshop, because all I'm pushing is fiduciary law. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not even being as brolic as I really could be, to be forthright with that. But excuse me, I'm just going to continue on. You know what I'm saying? So my conversation is always with you about the moral obligation. That moral obligation makes those legal duties proper. right? But again, because, we're all collectively washed in this degree of ignorance, you know what I'm saying? We're not even sitting down and really reading the Constitution. You get what I'm saying? To comprehend that it governs them. To comprehend that it governs the fiduciary. And then just the depth of fiduciary law, where it doesn't even require the Constitution. It's all about loyalty, duty of good faith, care, period, across the board. The Constitution comes out of this fiduciary law. The Constitution is built out of the fiduciary obligation. Your treaties come out of the fiduciary obligation. That's the reality. Again, I take you back to, what are you doing when one charges themselves with moral obligations of the highest responsibility and trust? And you're in Latin America, right? So fiduciary is the Latin word for trust, of the highest, the utmost. There's no way around that. So, I start you here. Again, I'm giving you the American Indian perspective. So I'm out here on the field. I'm going through it. I got my headdress on. I'm, being discriminated against and so forth. And it's due to people's ignorance. The association that because of who I am, they don't think of who I am. And it's your own people. It is. The degrees, it's your own folk. Because they trying to get their coin. They trying to get their paper. So they're so demoralized. It's just my experience of things. But okay, let me keep moving with you, right? Right? Contract business arrangement. This is preservation of consumers' claims and defenses. Just bear with me, you know what I mean? I'm trying to keep it like we was in school, right? Preservation of consumers' claims and defenses, 16 CFR 433. And I'm not here to drown you. You get what I'm saying? I'm grabbing, I'm pulling specific joints to empower. They're vague, they're ambiguous, they're misleading, they're misdirecting, you understand? To even call you a debtor. Right? The goal is for you to accept the debtor's programming. You get what I'm saying? And the debtor, the fiduciary is your debtor. I show you that. That's in your pack, your links pack. I'll pull out on the phone to show you that. Right? But the preserve in every contract and business arrangement, right, is between a creditor and a seller. All right? Any understanding, procedure, course of dealing or arrangement, formal or informal, between a creditor and a seller. The seller has fiduciary obligations to you. So, my push is that you're the power. You're going to have to sue. You're going to have to confront it and sue it. At minimum. You see them doing it. You see how reckless they are. And they're suing the Justice Department, suing the judges. You know what I'm saying? You see how crazy they are in the mechanism. You know what I'm saying? Or how the fiduciaries are trying to rework the system. Let me say it like that, because the system is great. I'm showing you the system. You get me? I'm showing you the system. You're the creditor of the system. You're the creditor of the system. Love to you. Love to you, man. You're the creditor of the system. That said United States, that said Bank of America, that said so-and-so. They're your fiduciary. They are the seller. There's no way around that. These are the things that you have to accept in reference to your authority, in reference to your power. And my press on you is utilizing the word fiduciary and all that follows with it. Enforceable fiduciary obligation, enforceable fiduciary responsibility, the fiduciary duty, the fiduciary requirement, the fiduciary mandate. You understand what I'm saying? Again, they're under this brow. They're under this thumb. So to demoralize you, hear me? To engage you in moral turpitude, to breach the moral obligation. Come on. Moral obligations. So that means when you go into whatever department and you say, hey, I need this, they say, okay. Hey, I'm over here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Hey, I'm your fiduciary, so of course I got you. You hear me? Hey, I'm your fiduciary. Of course we can get that for you. That's the logic. Hey, you're in a fiduciary relationship. Of course you're the creditor. You're not going to read a contract that says the seller's the creditor when the morals are correct. You hear me saying that to you? You see the contracts out there. Look at your own contract. I'm not even talking to you about the money. I'm talking to you about the language that's being used. You hear me? Which is the money. Again, I'm on you about magic. I'm on my square with you. You want to talk about frequency. You want to talk about power. I'm on you about it. Because utilizing the word activates your power. And so much so within the agent you're dealing with. You know, I go back to being Neo. You understand? Once you start using the word, your instruments, you're vocalizing the word, right? Because again, any oral or written agreement, that's why they try to back off from saying it's legal advice. You hear me talking to you? Because they're always in the fiduciary posture. They're always in the fiduciary role. All the time. You know, it's expected of your so-called chief of police or your mayor to always be conscious of the people, no matter what. That's their duty. Until they, what? No longer work in that job. Right? You hear me talking to you about it. So, you know, my challenge to you is to open a cash management account and take your assets and deposit your assets. The so-called contracts you're in. Those remittance advices you receive every month. And I'm giving you the language. I'm talking to you with the language. You know, indeed, you're going to be dealing with dodgy fiduciaries, tort-feasing fiduciaries that are going to try to escape. Look at what I received, right? Let me have a bust down conversation with you about the United States Department of Education. Right? Okay. Now notice, they call me a customer. Okay? You hear me? Yet they're claiming that the debt is owed to them. And it's my account. You understand? You know what I'm saying to you? Now the reality of, let me show you the remittance. And again, it starts from the top, right? The United States is my fiduciary. So how could I be in debt? How could I be in debt to my fiduciary and I am the creditor? You hear me? The it can't sign anything. The it can't write anything. You have agents that are waiting for you to come in and activate them. To use them. They get fees, they get commission, they get soft dollars for doing their obligation as a seller. Or what do you want? As an agent. And they're the ones that are in debt to you. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. But you got to come on and tap into them link packs I sent you, you heard? Because that's where I'm bouncing with you. This is in the bio. This is a silver bullet in the bio. Preservation. 16 CFR 433. Preservation of consumers' claims and defenses. I press you to just go to contract and business arrangement. It keeps it simple. Between a creditor and a seller. And then here's the la in connection with the sale of goods or services to consumers or the financing thereof. So again, the consumer goes into the business arrangement. They're either the creditor or the seller, right? You hear I'm saying that to you? So now the consumer goes into said grocery car dealership. Who's the creditor? You know the dealership is the seller. You know the bank is the seller. And they're under fiduciary obligations. So for you to come in and having that fiduciary language when you're engaged in the transaction, it's going to make the difference. I lie to you not. because they don't want to be sued by you. And you suing the individual, President John at the dealership. You know what I'm saying? They're liable to try to call the police on you because they're in so much fear. Because they've been breaching the moral obligation. They've been breaching the fiduciary obligation. And lying to you about the contract. Self-dealing. That's what it's called. So to counter that, look at what your government tells you to come with. Right? Because you're the owner. The ownership interest must be enforceable against the federal, right? And I put fiduciary. Judicial remedies must be available for the breach of the fiduciary obligation. So think about that. Again, you're in a contract business arrangement. You're dealing with the fiduciary. And they're prancing around saying they're the creditor, excuse me. And it's the individuals, right? It's the people that are typing these documents up and saying, oh, you're the debtor. Knowing that public service is a public trust. Your current administration knows what's up. So they're trying to straight up bully you into it. And not to say that, any of the past ones didn't know either. But your current administration is trying to bully you into it. They sent me mine. Right? Again, I'm the account owner. Here's the balance of the remittance. The remittance is a check, 22 CFR 22.3. Remittances in the United States shall be in the form of check, money order, drafted by a bank in the United States. I'm not drafting this. Why would they draft me a check for $25,000 and then tell me to send it back and say I'm in debt? You get that? When again, I'm the creditor, they're the seller. Come on, this is your reality though. You're looking at the so-called bills. I know, I get it. You're looking at the so-called bill and they're telling you that you gotta pay the bill. It's a billing statement with the remittance advice attached to it. I send you that link. Invoice, sample invoice and remittance advice. Read that. I send you that link. Not wasting your time. I send you that link. I'm going over what I send you and with real instruments, right? Real evidence, right? I challenge you to open a cash management account. Right? I get better organized than that. So again, here they go calling, they know I'm the customer. They know I'm the customer. You feel me? Let me pull up, right? Let me give you fiduciaryaccounts.pdf. You see me talking to you. They know I'm the customer, right? Again, I'm the owner of the account. I know what they was talking to you. Own nothing. I know what they saying to you. Own nothing. Be the fiduciary to your name. There's no need to be. You're the creditor. You're the owner. Indeed, you may be a fiduciary for someone else, for your family, that type of conversations. Nope. I'm not using Form 56. Nope. Because really, Form 56 is something that I would sign on your behalf. You hear me saying that to you? They're already under, look, bro, they're already under fiduciary obligation since time out of mind. You hear me? You get what I'm saying to you? They're already under fiduciary obligation since time out of mind. You hear me? I'm just speaking for myself. I hear others may be using the Form 56 and getting degrees and so forth. You understand? I get the comprehension of what it is, but a Form 56, I would sign that in reference to your affairs, to your transactions. I would sign that, letting IRS know that now I'm the fiduciary. But if anything, You could audit whatever account and see if they signed the Form 56. You know what I'm saying? Audit the account and see what they did to try to take over as, right, trustee, etc. Let me see what I see. Okay, I hear you. Well, that's good. And look, the dealership already is that's the conversation, right? Because now I take you back to that preservation. Right, indeed. And so, and my thing is, though, I don't even want to do any more documentation. You get me? I just want to cash out on the remittance. That's where I'm at. I just want to cash out. That's where I'm at. You hear what I'm saying to you? So I comprehend you 100. I comprehend you 100. Now I'm looking to just cash out. You know what I mean? Period. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with it, right? And knowing I'm the creditor in the contract. So now look, Ro. So now, are they still listing you as the creditor? Excuse me. Are they still listing you as a buyer in the contract? You hear me saying that to you? Because the contract should read you being the creditor and them being the seller. So I get you with the, coming in with the document, they trying not to sign it or run around it, that type of thing. But the reality of the contract listing us as a debtor or creditor, right? Because that's the play on their part. Again, they're the seller. So they know they're the debtor. The trick is to hide the creditor posture from the owner. Okay, I hear you talking to me. I want the remittance, though. You hear me? I want the remittance. You get what I'm saying to you? I hear you 100, or excuse me, I see you talking to me. Not to say hear you, but I do comprehend you. But I want the remittance out of the transaction. So I want to make sure I'm receiving my dividend. That's what I want. I want my remittance. You know what I'm saying? They talking about, and fill me on the conversation with you, right? Because again, I showed you they called me a customer, right? So if you go to, let me give it to you, right? Let me go to fiduciary accounts.pdf. Okay? Again, I send it to you, fiduciary accounts.pdf. I apologize, I don't have a PDF with me. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I agree with you on that. And that's why I'm postured where I am. So I feel like I shouldn't have to add any more documentation as far as so forth. I just got to catch them in the lie. You feel me? And I'm going to catch them in the lie all the time because the contract lists me as the buyer, as the purchaser. They're engaged in self-dealing, calling themselves creditor. That's a violation of the fiduciary obligation. You feel me? Right? So they know you're the customer. Let me take it to you. This is fiduciary accounts.pdf, okay? And I send this to you. My press on you is to utilize the language. Let me bring it down, sir. Okay, the zoom's a little whack. There's whack on the phone. Let me use the tablet. Pardon myself. The tablet's so massive. You know what I mean? I'm with you, though. You know what I mean? However we can, kind of maneuver it to make it as simple as possible. Okay. Well, I hear you. I'm just going to use the tab. You know what I mean? I appreciate you letting me know that, though. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because they're, you know what I mean? Let's sue. Oh, come on, give me that up, Jane. There we go. Right? Again, I challenge you to open up a cash management account. I show you mine with Merrill Lynch, right? I'm on the private side. You hear me? Fiduciary law takes you to the private side of the said institution. So whoever you bank with, look for that private bank, that wealth management, right? I'm on you to read that comptroller's handbook so you get the language used. Beautiful. Beautiful. So again, you know, my challenge to all, right, is to open that cash management account, because now you're operating as the creditor. You hear I'm saying that to you? Because those other accounts, you know, they require you to put funding down. They require you to have a minimum amount and so forth. That cash management account does not require that. You understand? And then, you know, I'm on you about it because they promote themselves in such a way about it. This is, again, private bank, Bank of America. privatebank.bankofamerica.com, the fiduciary standard. Right? Relationship supported by the strongest standard of integrity, trust, and accountability. The fiduciary standard. So that's why I'm at you about using the language. Period. But your title, I press upon you, your title is Owner-Creditor. And it's as simple as that. Or our titles, right? You know, and again, your thing's telling you to come with the breach of fiduciary obligation. Because you're the owner. You know what I mean? Right? So now let's go to fiduciaryaccounts.pdf. What is this? Let me see. Okay. Let me get you there. And this is from your FDIC, you hear me? This is your stuff. I send it to you though. Right? I send it to you. You know, I press you, don't concern yourself with being the principal, maintain owner posture, maintain creditor posture. Right? So now what I'll do is I'm going to take you to page 2 of the PDF. Right? Again, fiduciary accounts. This is from your FDIC. So it's all ingrained. You have to use the language to activate it. That's the play. You have to use the language to activate it. That is the play. It's in there. See, it's a 12 CFR, Code of Federal Regulations. Fiduciary accounts, right? I want you to read it so you be empowered. That's my conversation with you, because you're the authority. But I'm going to take you to page 2. It's a 4-page PDF. I'm going to take you to page 2. So what we got going on here? The first requirement above, okay? And it's talking about how it's read, right? So if the fiduciary doesn't put themselves in posture as a custodian, they do something else. Watch. The first requirement above, yes. Yeah, let me, hold on. Since you asked me, right? Let me address you right now. You hear me? It's in the 2 messages, the second message, where I send you 2 messages with links. But let me go to you now so I can make sure. Look. me see what I do. Go to the name. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, you got the pack. I'll put it in there again. You have the pack, but I don't know. It hasn't separated the links. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, okay, look. There you go, bro. Yeah, you see it? This is the link packs. So you there. It's right there for you, you hear me? And then what I tell folks to do is to copy it. You know what I'm saying? Copy it, put it in your notes so it highlights. But you can hit it from here, though. You can hit it from here. Now, what I'm reading to you is from, you know what I mean, FDIC fiduciary accounts.pdf. You know what I mean? That's what I'm building with you on now. And my point of the conversation in it is that it articulates that you're the creditor, you're the owner, you're the creditor, the said institution, entity, agent is the debtor. Okay? So the first requirement above will not be satisfied if the purported agent or the custodian has entered into a debtor-creditor relationship with the owner. So that covers it right there. You hear what I'm saying to you? I put that 16 CFR in front of you. That's the preservation. The contract and business arrangement between a creditor, a seller. You're in a fiduciary transaction. Your fiduciary relationship is a fiduciary account. That agent is the debtor. And then look, remember again, I showed you customer, right? So again, the customer is the owner, is the creditor. If a customer of a deposit broker is promised by the agent that he or she will earn 3% on his or her deposit, when the institution is only paying 2%, the agent, and look, listen to this, the agent would not be an agent but a debtor. That's why the fiduciary language is so important. Well, I'm saying why it's part of why it's so important. That's my press with you about it. You know what I'm saying? So indeed, to get out, get into the mix. You know what I mean? A fiduciary obligation. Call the president of the company a fiduciary first. That's the real degree. Even if they claim they don't know what the word means, that's fine. Explain it to them so they know. So they get the ordeal that they're engaged in. Because indeed, you're going to be dealing with ignorance, right? People not knowing. Right? I coin or piggyback Malcolm when he was talking about the Nation of Islam and how, you know, he himself would have killed anybody on behalf of Elijah Muhammad. You know, and that there's the rank and file individuals in there don't know what's going on within the hierarchy. You know, they're just given instruction to carry out, etc. You understand? So now your reality, you know what I'm saying, being general, your reality coming over here on this side, I'm talking to you about fiduciary law and the obligation due to you. You know, I press you. Don't do principle. Stay the owner, stay the creditor. You know, they like to use principle when they're talking about the fiduciary. You know, the principal chief of the tribe. You understand? The principal balance. I showed you that on the remittance. Let's see what I got going on with you. You said I can slide it over here. So, oh, didn't mean to close it. You know, and all this threatening language and stuff that they're sending to me for the remittance, so I send my remittance back in. It's a $25,000 check. Word. I'm glad I did. I'm honored by your words. You heard? I am honored by your words. Yeah, this is my conversation with you. So come tomorrow, all this week. Love to you, say to children. This is what I'm going to handle. This is what I'm going to get into, is depositing my remittance into my cash management account and liquidating it. Using my cash management account as a pass-through to liquidate whatever remittances I'm in, whatever transactions, whatever assets I have. That's my objective. So that's why I pressed that challenge to you to open one. My use with Merrill Lynch, it's a direct deposit. You can wire to the account. You understand? Wire to and from. Can transfer other quote unquote securities, right? You understand? Right? Which is no more than a contract, right? A contract that you autographed. Where I'm at, 36. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right. So again, in this fiduciary conversation, the United States is my debtor, right? Because the United States has a fiduciary obligation. All right? And they charge themselves with what? Where is it at? It's on this page. No, it's on the first page. There we go. The United States charge themselves with moral obligations of the highest responsibility and trust. So the United States is my debtor, right? So how dare they, you know what I'm saying? Like, how dare they send me, the customer, who is the owner of the account, who is the creditor, a threatening letter saying that I'm in debt? That's moral turpitude. That breaches the moral obligation. Why lie to me? There's no reason to lie to me. You get what I mean? You see how I'm saying that to you? How I'm talking to you about it? Again, I'm the account owner, right? I'm the customer, the account owner. Of course I'm the creditor. So look at how they play. If you're a debtor, if you are currently a debtor in an active bankruptcy case, I want to activate some bankruptcy cases because I'm the creditor. You feel me? The National Museum for the American Indian, on the ground floor, is the United States Bankruptcy Court. I walked in there the first time. I went out there and, I'm in headdress, and they looked at me and they're like, why are you in here? Do you announce yet of your revised position? To say it like that, I haven't done any type of, no, not like that. No, I just walk in as is. You hear me? I got my headdress on. You hear me? So I walk in as is, and then whatever conversation it is, I do say I'm the American Indian. And again, I do speak the fiduciary language. So I press on them with the obligation, the responsibility. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sending any extra notices or any of that conversation. I seek to engage the oral word. When I open my cash management account, yeah, and they owe us. All of that is due to us. That's the reality. You know what I mean? When I open the cash management account, I just use fiduciary language on them, knowing that I'm the creditor. That's it. I did it over the phone while I was in Oklahoma. Now, I did give the social. You know what I'm saying? I did give the social. So I know on their end, they're engaged in a fraud. You get what I'm saying to you? Because again, I'm not working for them, right? The social is for employment, right? To get credit for working, right? So I'm not working for them. So why would you take the social? Right? That's the reality of Social Security number. It's for work credit. Yeah, I was in Oklahoma for like 2 years, 4 years. Oh my gosh. Is it 2026? Yeah, I was there for, I think, about 4 years. That's kind of where my main joint was going on. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the stuff that you've seen, to say it to be broad, was while I was in Oklahoma. Which really, helped me to get the posture that I'm in now. And especially pressing this fiduciary conversation. I'm going to Oklahoma State University. Yeah. We've had some conversation, bro. We've had some conversation, indeed. Right? So, again, right? Fiduciary accounts.pdf. The first requirement will not be satisfied. That's the agent or custodian. Again, the agent, the fiduciary. No matter what capacity the fiduciary is in, they become a debtor to you. That's it. Again, the agent would not be an agent, but a debtor. So now, logically speaking, right now in this time, you're dealing with debtors. Folks are getting into the public service, no matter what industry it is, and they're being conditioned to be a debtor. To engage you in moral turpitude, to breach that moral obligation. I'm just talking real rap to you. January 31st, fiduciary workshop, Crystal House. If you're up here in New York, pull up. Got some things in the work in Alabama coming up. With I want to get it out. With a fiduciary, with the gala. Unveil the Zenith, the owner's gala, enforcing the creditor's authority in the fiduciary relationship. I think that's it, right? Unveil the Zenith, the owner's gala, enforcing the creditor's authority. I think that's it. That might be it. I should write that down. That might be the title of it. But yeah, shout out to Gino Golds, right? I think I showed you that. He beat his case, right? Represented himself as quote unquote pro se, stood on fruit of the poisonous tree, and he beat the case. Got the case dismissed. Now he's going through whatever process to get these things returned. 3 pounds in the trunk. You understand? So, the reality of what it is. And then you being, love to you plant-based, love to you Todd. And this is my conversation with you, right? I'm on my square. The reality of you being the American Indian, right? Again, everybody's a creditor, everybody's the owner. We're all in a fiduciary relationship. And now I got to speak to my people. The reality of you being the American Indian is what turns it over. Because that moral obligation is due to the AI. Since time out of mind. You got to hear me on that. So I press you, the AI, I press you to dig into your family heritage. Dig into your family's heritage. Dig into your ancestry. That's where your land is. Whatever the patents are. Your folks got reservations. Your folks got settlements. Your folks got cities. Remember Where Is My Land? That group, Where Is My Land? Where they did Jones Beach in California. All of that conversation is really on your back. That's your reality. Again, everybody's the creditor. Everybody's the owner. Whatever accounts they open, so forth. And let me say this to you, bro. I ain't even found it yet. And not saying I'm not looking. I just ain't got into it yet. So much respect. 400. Whew. 400. Whew. And look, that's nothing though. For real. Not even saying it like that. It's so much that your folks been into. It's so much when it comes to this AI conversation. Is so much. Again, legal duties, moral obligations. Period. Enforceable fiduciary obligation. They charge themselves with the moral duty. I'm on you to step on their throats. Huh? They charge themselves with the moral obligations. You heard? I'm on you to crush their larynx. Shove their teeth in their face. And indeed, you're going to have to be magical and beautiful, all that beauty that is entailed within you, indeed. Let me see what you're saying. Okay, Todd. Okay, Todd. Nice, bro. Nice. And listen, that's our duty. That's our obligation, is to dig into the heritage. Dig into the bloodline. Because the family was attacked. You know? I had to be one with myself and saying, okay, you know, I'm raised in this, but what's been going on before I even came into play? My people was ducking. My people was hiding, moving, morphing. You know, Lillian, my grandmother's friend, she's in her 80s now. Hopefully I can get her to a workshop so she can, you know, just talk on. Sharp too, she's sharp. But she's telling me, I think it was the 70s or the 60s, she was coming up. They was hanging our folks for being Indian. You understand? Just those degrees of reality. And to hear it, like, you know, I'm in the realm, right? So I'm hearing it. But to have her sit down and talk to me about it, and to gain her energy in that conversation, you know, she feels tired and so forth, but she wants to get into it. She wants to see things be correct for our people. You know what I mean? That type of love for our people. You know what I mean? So, you know, again, you may not be American Indian. That's okay. You're still in a fiduciary relationship. You're still the owner. You're still the creditor of whatever account, contract, business arrangement you get into. But now just the reality of the so-called black, Negro, colored, etc., this relationship that you're in, where they owe you. You know, moral obligations of the highest responsibility and trust. Come on, what are we talking about here? So hear me talking to you now. I'm sitting here looking at the United States Department of Education send me a debt notice saying that I'm the debtor. The fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about right now? And it's all written that I'm the creditor. Come on. Where is it at? Where am I at with it? It's written that I'm the creditor. Oh yeah, basic obligations too. What did I do? Right? And so just, you know what I'm saying, just the language in order to make me send this in. This is $25,000 right here. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even on the money. You hear me? I'm not even on the money. So this is my $25,000 check for the contract I was in. You know, they sold it, made their dividends and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Circled it around. What are you talking about? What do you mean? Oh. What did I just do with it? Oh, here we go. Put it to the side. You know, again, contract business arrangement. Any oral or written agreement, formal or informal, between a creditor and a seller. Come on. What are they talking about? Like, damn, you can't just be honest for once, Bob. Right? Let me see. I sent Capital One affidavit using fiduciary law, and they did rebut one point I made in the affidavit. Stand on your square. All right, I hear it. I hear it. Yeah, I mean, even their prospectus, you feel me? You pull up the prospectus, it tells you that you're the creditor. You know, I use that against American Airlines, right? I send you that. I sent the little maybe 5 sentences, one, run-on sentence, right? And indicting them for moral turpitude. You hear what I'm saying? Indicting them for moral turpitude. Denying me anything is moral turpitude. What are you talking about? I'm the creditor transaction. There's no way around it. It's a fiduciary transaction. What are you talking about? So look, it's a fiduciary transaction, right? SFFAS 31. This is the handbook, right? I show you this. I show you the website that vanishes, right? This is what this PDF is from. Or the website is from this PDF. I should say that. That's what's the proper way to say it. The website is from this PDF, right? Statement of Federal Financial Accounting Standards number 31. Accounting for fiduciary activities. You see how I'm saying it to you? Right? So now let me show you the page. Where am I at? Let me see what the 51. Okay, that's not too bad. Let me show you the page. And I want to show you, though, that they know what's up because they did this. I think this is it. Watch. You saw that? You saw it disappear, right? It's there. You saw it get covered, I should say. Not even disappear, but get covered. Oh my gosh. Right? This is your current administration hiding. Right? And this is what they're hiding from you. It's a combination of page 1 and page 6. And here's the boil down. The ownership interest must be enforceable against the federal government. Judicial remedies must be available for the breach of fiduciary obligation. So now here's the evil of the current administration trying to tell me that I'm the debtor. And that's what you're dealing with, right? It's a fiduciary account. It's a fiduciary transaction. Again, they're holding in a fiduciary activity. Look, it's a fiduciary activity. In a fiduciary activity, a federal entity collects or receives and subsequently manages, protects, accounts for, invests, and or disposes of cash or other assets in which non-federal individuals or entities, that's you, have an ownership interest that the federal government must uphold. That's why I'm on you about fiduciary law. So I'm on you about it. That's why you see me sharing how I share, posting how. Listen, now I'm on my square with you. Instagram has disabled my account 5 times. I'm shadow banned. I only get, if that, a point percentage of the 7,000 followers I have. When I'm looking at the counter, it'll show me 3, but when I'm done, it'll be 25. They remove my comments, and all I'm sharing is fiduciary law. Some of the gurus have shadow banned me, blocked me from the pages because I'm sharing fiduciary law. Welcome to the club, bro. Welcome to the club. An honor to be within your company, you heard? And that's it. You know what I mean? I'm not here to make it complicated. You know what I mean? Boom. And, I hit you with the Kiagu's Purest Fiduciary Services. That's my quote unquote consultation posture. You hear what I'm saying? I call them builds. Do it 2.5 hours, $30 to $50 on the scale. Your choice. That's what I got for you, right? And to satisfy the question of do you consult? How much do you consult for this and that, blah, blah, blah. That's what it is, right? Again, I'm on my square with you in conversation right now. Those are the degrees. You get what I'm saying? I'm not trying to beat you up in no other way. Not at all. No. I put it with, shout out to Gino Golds. Again, he beat his case. There's other individuals. Beetle, Jay Bizzle. He got the cash management account. Now he's working it. He's working the investment vehicle side of it. You know what I'm saying? London girl, she got her account. So now she's working on depositing the remittances. You hear what I'm saying to you? Shout out Kinks with Binks. She utilized the fiduciary language to get the in-care occupation going between her and her mother. You understand? As well as the insurance company she was dealing with. So just the degrees, it's there. You're the power, you're the source. There's no way around it. You're going to have to, push through, be in conversation, this type of thing, woo-de-woo, woo-de-woo. But it's all fiduciary law. And like I'm showing you here, in the end, you're the owner, so come with that breach of fiduciary obligation. The owner is the creditor. The customer is the owner who is the creditor. It's like that. The consumer is the customer who is the owner who is the creditor. That's it. That's it. That's it. What you'll deal with is dodgy fiduciaries. You'll deal with tortfeasing fiduciaries. That's what we're dealing with. Going to send me my check and then tell me I'm in debt. Advise me, because it's a remittance advice. They're going to send me my check and then advise me that I'm in debt. And they know I'm the customer. How about that? How about they know they're the fiduciary? I appreciate that, Ro. I'm honored by your words, Ro. I'm honored by your words. Yeah, so I only got 2 more minutes with you. You hear me? But this is my conversation with you. So I'm being redundant. I'm being repetitive. I'm being repetitious. You're the authority. There's no way around it. You're the owner. You're the creditor. There's no way around it except that part. And now govern them with fiduciary law. Govern them with fiduciary law. And whoever the fiduciary that says you can't come with it, you go at that fiduciary for lying. You hear what I'm saying it to you? Because it's people. It's men, it's women. Engaged in moral turpitude. Moral depravity. Moral degradation. They're being vile. Look, let me give you that. Let me give you moral turpitude. Let me give you that. And that's where I'm going to conclude with that. Let me give you that. Come on. Come on. Again, I send you the links. You feel me? I send you the links. I'm not holding nothing back from you. I send you the links. That's what I'm building with you on. Right? Let's get to it. Moral turpitude. Look. Refers to conduct that is inherently base, vile, depraved, or gravely violates accepted community standards of morality and duty. And what did the United States do? Let's start from the top. Let's start from the top. What did the United States do? Charge themselves with with moral obligations of the highest responsibility and trust. So anything. Often involving intentional wrongdoing like fraud, theft, or malicious acts, and carry significant legal consequences, especially in U.S. immigration law, affecting deportability, admissibility, and even professional licenses. While not strictly defined, courts link it to actions demonstrating a guilty knowledge or evil intent that shocks the public conscience, differentiating it from mere breaches of social order. And they want to, and look, that's the play, right? That's how they try to undermine it, with mere breaches of social order. What are you talking about? Your goddamn wrongdoing, fraud, theft, malicious act. Look at this malicious act. Look at this fraud. Look at this malicious act. To put on my remittance that I need to send this in along with my payment. That's a lie. To call me a debtor. What do you mean? What are you saying? And hear me though, I'm ignorant, right? I don't know what's going on. I'm just on the planet. I'm, 40 years in to talk to you. Dude, I don't know what's going on. Why engage me in moral turpitude? And from the top, you got the moral obligation of the highest responsibility, which is also what? An enforceable fiduciary obligation. Period. That's the reality. That's the reality. So, you know what I'm saying? My posture with you're the owner, you're the creditor in a fiduciary relationship. No, they don't have no right to do anything. That's the reality. Because again, we're talking morals. I'm talking to you about morals, you feel me? So they don't have the right to harm you, to lie to you, to fraud you. And if that fiduciary, what is it? Because what they do on the signature card. Yeah, but that's false again, right? Because you're sitting in front of the agent. So the agent shouldn't even be allowing you to sign as debtor. You get what I'm saying to you? That's why I go back to the start of the contract. It's between a creditor and a seller. And that seller sitting there under fiduciary obligation, allowing the creditor to sign as a debtor. That's moral turpitude. That's an evil intent. That's guilty knowledge. The conditioning is to make us, again, think that we are. The conditioning is to make us accept that we are. When again, we're the owner. We're the creditor. Period. You're the authority. Period. That's why I'm at you with the fiduciary law conversation. Because it's the utmost. It's the strongest, the highest. And then it's all moral conversation. So again, to sit down in front of you and I make this contract and I'm the seller and I call myself the creditor on the contract that you're going to autograph on your account, that's self-dealing. That's self-dealing. And they've been doing it. Again, people are ignorant to what's going on. That's not, you know what I'm saying? That's nobody's fault to the degrees because they're shifting, changing perspective, using language to do this, to hide that, and so forth. I mean, you're not even really sitting down and reading the English language. One might be into, Black's Law and Bovier's, that type of thing. But those are all reference materials from cases. I'm talking about your dictionaries like Random House, Webster's, Look. And that's the objective, to get you to sign as the debtor. That's very true. To get you to sign as the debtor. I'm taking you to Webster's. Debtor. One guilty of neglect or violation of duty. One who owes a debt. Right? And then you saw that look at that. Country's largest tax debtor. Look at that. Group under investigation is country's largest tax debtor. Look at that. Let me take you to children's definitions. Oh, come on. What is that? What are you doing? Oh my gosh. Oh, it won't drop down? Are you serious? Let me see if I can swipe down. Look at kids' definition of debtor. Right? And so again, in that contract and business arrangement, you're known as the creditor. Right? And that fiduciary accounts.pdf. Where is it at? I thought I had it open already. Oh, I did, but I did it. Second page. First requirement above will not be satisfied if the agent or custodian has entered into a debtor-creditor relationship with the owner. If a customer of a deposit broker is promised by the agent that he or she will earn 3%, and this is an example, his or her deposit, when the IDI is paying only 2%, the agent not be an agent, but a debtor. So again, look at the language they're using to try to make me send in my dividend. Oh, let me hit you with this too, right? Okay, I'm getting there. Comptrollers. Damn, did I just forget it? I did too, didn't I? I sure did just forget it. What's the other joy I want to show? Man, I just had a brain fart. Let me do FDIC holder in due course. It's still not it though. holder in due course, FTC. Preservation of, right, the creditor's claims and defenses, the owner's claims and defenses, right? Protects the owner when merchants sell a owner's credit contract to other sellers. Specifically, it preserves the owner's authority to assert the same legal claims and defenses against anyone who purchases the credit contract as they would have against the seller who originally provided the document. Right, so yeah, that's it for me. You are the authority. I just had a brain fart, so my apologies. In reference to what I wanted to show you too. Oh, okay. Let me do this with you. What is it? Sample Horizon. Let's see, contract. Look at the language, customer. So again, they know you're the creditor. Look. There's your fraud. Oh, creditors of the United States. That's what I was going to pull up. There's your fraud right there. Look. Okay. I can. I mean... all right, so I appreciate you. Yeah, more than welcome to, bro. Yeah, we can do whatever, you heard? I'm down for whatever, you get me? My next joint, I got a joint coming up in Alabama, but the workshop on the last Saturday is definite. Oh, well, that's your choice to do that. I use my name. I don't operate through those entity mediums. So that's on you to do that. You're welcome. Love to you, Beetle. Love to you, Beetle. Yeah, again, I gotta shout Beetle out because Beetle is working the account. You know what I mean? Got some things going on, getting into it, so forth. So, you know, I use my name. You hear me? I don't use, you know, the religious trusts and those mechanisms. I don't use entities. I use my name because I'm the creditor. I'm the owner. You know what I mean? I don't have any structures or anything like that. I'm honored by your words, Todd. I'm honored by your words. And you know, and again, like, for me to say it to you, with the fiduciary accounts, right? The fiduciary activities, they're telling you to come, with the ownership interest, breach of fiduciary obligation. So, I don't, and not saying though, as you being the owner of an entity you create, you can still come with that because you're the owner. You get what I'm saying? But now you create an entity, you're playing in taxes, right? Unless you do some sort of, you start doing the family office stuff. You know what I mean? And then the entities under the family office, under the foundation, that type of conversation. And you've been, moving documents, manipulating things of that nature. But yeah, I don't have the intentions of creating entities or none of that. My goal is to dig into the family heritage and collect the debts that are due. But as far as you want me to show you the remittance? Yeah, I mean, I use the name that was bestowed to me by my creators. You get what I'm saying? Okay. I read you on that, Todd. Yeah, I use the name that was given to me by my mother. You get me? I don't play in that water like that. I don't deal in that muddy water. I know I'm the owner. I know I'm the creditor. So the names that were bestowed to me by my mother, my father, I operate them with the love and loyalty, respect, and etc. I'm not hiding myself. None of that. That's me in conversation with you. So I don't even subscribe to straw man. I don't subscribe to appellation. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm the owner. I know I'm the creditor. I'm the American Indian. I'm in a fiduciary relationship. So I'm pressing everything on them. They have the obligations. They're under the moral thumb. You know what I mean? And I'm just speaking for myself. I'm on square with you. You're asking me. I'm on my square with you. I don't subscribe to none of that. I don't deal with none of that. Not at all. No status correction. None of that. There's some things I can do as far as with the social to, make sure they list me as American Indian. That type of conversation. And that's not even an SF-181 because I'm not an employee as well. You understand? But everything where I'm at posture with it, I'm here to collect what's due to me. That's it. I'm the creditor. Here's my check. They're engaging me in moral turpitude by not even telling me that this is a check. They're endeavoring. Look. This is what they're doing. 18 USC 914. I'm the creditor of the United States. There's no way around that. Whoever falsely personates. Come on, it's them hiding behind the Department of Education saying that they're the creditor. How? Then the United States is my fiduciary agency? Right? Whoever falsely personates any true and lawful holder of any share or sum in the public stocks or debt of the United States. Listen, save the children. Do you know what I'm saying? You hear me? You can put up as many butts as you want. You get what I'm saying to you? Again, they're the fiduciary to you. They're under the obligation to you. They're engaging you in fraud. You have to accept that you're the authority. You have to accept that you're the power. You have to accept that. Period. You're the creditor of the United States. You have to accept that. I'm sitting here with you on it. So, everything, the debtor programming is going to ping on you till you accept that you're the creditor of whatever entity. That's why I'm at you to read the links I send you. That's my conversation. That's why I'm at you to read the links I send you. Because in that birth certificate conversation, you won't even be looped in that. You'll try to figure out how to liquidate the birth certificate. That's my conversation with you. It's an asset. And it's your asset. You know, just like you're in school, they make the worksheets. You fill out the worksheet is yours. So, blase blah. Okay, that's it for me. I'm finished. I'm at 121. So, yeah, you just got to come through. You just got to get out of that programming. No. Why? You don't have to change the name. That's my conversation. You don't have to change your name. You don't have to do that. That's what I'm saying to you. You don't have to do all of that. Again, you have to accept being the authority. You have to accept being the creditor, the owner of these accounts. You have to accept that they have the duty and obligation to you. That's what you have to accept. It's my conversation with you. Again, I have my Merrill Lynch account. You hear me? I have mine. You hear what I'm saying to you? I'm in my cash management account under my name. You see that? I have my cash management account under my name. You get what I'm saying to you? So all of that you're talking about is you're confusing yourself. And I know what they're teaching out there. I know what folks are saying to do and etc. I get it. I get that. I know. I see that. But that's why, again, I hit you in the mouth with fiduciary law and tell you to read the links I've sent you. You're the creditor. You're the owner. You're the authority. They're the debtor. I don't work entities. I don't do that. There's no need for me to make myself an entity. Now, I may get in some collective conversation with someone. We come up with a name for what we're doing and move and so forth. But as far as my affairs are concerned, how I'm moving and operating, I'm not in fear of, I'm not running away from. The freedom is in my name. I'm seeking to make my name known. I'm on my square with you. I'm seeking to make my name known for love, for respect, for honor. You got it. You hear me? The birth certificate is a document. It's not an entity. The birth certificate is an instrument. It's not an entity. So, but hey, you got it. You hear me? Have you read the links I sent you? Answer that question. Answer me that. Have you read the links I've sent you? I'm asking you, Save the Children, have you read the links I've sent you? All right, so, okay. I'm at least glad that you answered me honestly. Okay? You don't even got to say I will today. You hear me? Or type that. I'm just glad you answered me honestly. All right. So, after you read the links I've sent you and taken that knowledge in, then come back to me and talk to me. And I can say that with you because we have connection. You hear me? I can say that to you because we have connection. You hear me? We have connection. You get what I'm saying? So I can say that to you. You hear me? But okay, all right. You know what I mean? Love you, love you, love you. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, I'm sitting on a joint. That's it. I'm in the mix. So, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's it for me then. Again, my conversation is fiduciary law. Breach of fiduciary obligation. Write it as such, so. Honoramus matres nostras. Fiduciary law is it. Love be with you.